The night the storm hit, Ryan sat in his car with his 5-year-old daughter asleep in the back seat, watching the rain pound against the windshield like a cruel reminder of everything he had lost. Just months ago, he had a beautiful home, a successful carpentry business, and a wife who made everything feel like sunshine. But life doesn't warn you when it's about to fall apart. One wrong investment, one bad deal, one tragic accident, and suddenly, the world you built collapses like a house of cards. Ryan's wife had passed away in a car crash. Then, the bills came, the business failed, and the house was gone. With his last $15,000, all he could afford was an old, abandoned farmhouse miles away from town. Something he found listed online, a forgotten property, surrounded by fields and silence. It wasn't much, but it was hope. It was a place where his daughter, Lily, could have a bed, where he could rebuild what was broken. If you believe in second chances, kindness, and miracles that come when you least expect them, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who still believes that good people can change lives. When Ryan first saw the farmhouse, it looked like time itself had given up on it. The windows were cracked, the doors hung unevenly, and the paint had long surrendered to the sun. But to Ryan, it wasn't ruin, it was a chance. He spent days cleaning out the debris, fixing doors, repairing the porch, and planting flowers with Lily by his side. He told her, "We'll make this our new home, sweetheart. Just you and me." She smiled, missing her front tooth, and hugged him. But before they could move in, Ryan had to go back to town for work. He'd taken a temporary construction job to earn money for furniture and supplies. He promised Lily that once the roof was fixed and the walls were painted, they'd move in for good. 3 weeks later, with the truck loaded with boxes, toys, and groceries, Ryan drove back to the farmhouse. He was smiling for the first time in months, thinking about Lily's reaction when she'd see her new room. But when he stepped out of the truck, something felt wrong. The front door was slightly open. The curtains he had put up were swaying in the breeze. And faintly, he heard voices, soft, feminine voices, coming from inside. Ryan pushed the door open slowly. Inside, the fireplace was lit. There were 2 women sitting on the old couch, whispering. They froze when they saw him. They were twins, almost identical, except one had a small scar on her eyebrow. Both looked pale, exhausted, and frightened. At first, Ryan's instinct was anger. "What are you doing here?" he wanted to shout. But then he noticed their trembling hands, the bruises on their arms, the torn clothes. The older twin stood up, trying to explain, her voice breaking. They had nowhere else to go. They'd been homeless for months after losing their apartment and jobs. They found the farmhouse empty, the door unlocked, and thought it was abandoned. They had been sleeping there, trying to survive. Ryan stood there in silence for a long moment, his heart torn between anger and empathy. He looked at them, and suddenly remembered his own nights sleeping in the car, his daughter's small voice asking if they'd ever have a home again. That he sighed deeply. "You shouldn't be here," he said quietly, "but I can't throw you out either." And just like that, something inside him changed. He offered them food, gave them blankets, and told them they could stay the night until they figured something out. He didn't know it then, but that single act of kindness would change all of their lives forever. Over the next few days, Ryan learned more about the twin sisters, Emily and Emma. They were in their late 20s, once waitresses at a diner in town. The diner shut down, and with no family to help them, they ended up living on the streets. They were proud, kind, and hardworking, but life had been unkind. Lily adored them instantly. She would run around calling them Auntie EMS and Auntie Emmy, making them laugh even when they were trying to hide their pain. In return, the sisters helped Ryan fix up the farmhouse, painting walls, cleaning windows, and cooking meals. Slowly, the abandoned house began to transform, not just physically, but emotionally. Days turned into weeks, and something beautiful began to grow between them. Ryan found himself smiling again, laughing again. He would wake up to the smell of coffee and the sound of laughter in the kitchen. For the first time in a long time, the house felt alive, but not everyone was happy about it. When the locals found out Ryan had 2 strange women living in his farmhouse, rumors started to spread. People whispered at the grocery store, made jokes behind his back, even accused him of doing it for attention. Ryan tried to ignore it, but it hurt, especially for Lily's sake. Then one evening, tragedy almost struck. Lily fell sick with a high fever while Ryan was away buying supplies. The nearest hospital was an hour away. Emily held her in her arms all night, praying, singing softly to keep her calm. Emma ran through the rain to a neighbor's house to borrow their truck. When Ryan returned and saw Lily resting safely, with Emily sitting beside her, eyes red from crying, he realized something. These women weren't strangers anymore. They were family. The next morning, Ryan made a decision. He invited the sisters to stay, not as guests, but as part of their home. He said, "You've given me more than you know. You gave this house a soul again." Tears filled Emily's eyes. Emma hugged Lily tightly. Months passed, and the farmhouse became a small haven for all of them. Ryan expanded his carpentry business, and with Emma's help in accounting and Emily's knack for design, they started taking on renovation projects together. What began as survival turned into a partnership and a deep bond. One evening, as the sun set over the golden fields, Ryan sat on the porch with Lily and the sisters. The sky burned orange and pink. Lily asked innocently, "Daddy, are they going to live with us forever?" Ryan looked at Emily and Emma, both smiling softly, and said, "I hope so, sweetheart. Because sometimes, family isn't the one you're born into. It's the one you find when you've lost everything else." If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe for more stories that remind us of the power of kindness and second chances. Before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Comment below and tell us what family means to you. Because sometimes, one act of compassion can rebuild lives in ways we never imagined. By the time winter came, the farmhouse wasn't just repaired, it was reborn. There was laughter in the halls, warmth in every corner, and love that came not from blood, but from shared pain and healing. Ryan had bought an abandoned house, but what he truly found was something much greater. Two souls who turned his emptiness into belonging, and a home filled with the sound of life again. And somewhere, beyond the fields and the whispering wind, you could almost hear a quiet truth echo through the night. Sometimes, losing everything is what leads you to the people meant to save you.